Okay, hello my friends. This is a very hard video to film because I actually cannot really see much right now. If you could see um my tripod setup right now, it's laughable. Either way, I have never before put together, set up a book journal. I typically just write my book reviews in a lined notebook and that's that. I have received book journals as presents before, but I'm gonna be honest, they have literally never worked for me. I just have never liked the way that they've been set up, what spreads they have, any of that. So I thought that this year, or rather next year, I would try to put together my own book journal. So let's get into it. So first thing we have is just our little who this book belongs to page. I should also mention I did just purchase this dotted hardcover notebook. I think it's A5, just from Amazon. I think it was about $30. It seems pretty good quality so far. I will link it below if I remember. So anyway, then we have my first page, which is like my title page, just explaining that this is indeed my 2026 reading journal. I have cut a little hole here because for some reason I thought it was really important for me to remember that this is my journal, so I put my own face in it, obviously. I don't really love this page. This was, let's keep in mind, the very first page that I really put together for this journal. Learning curves, you know. Let's flip. So next we have got my general overall reading goals and my general star rating system. So a couple of goals, and again, you can pause at any time if you want to read anything. Like, I'm literally an open book right now. But there are like some authors like Riley Sager, Emily Henry, and Abby Jimenez. I did spell it wrong, ignore that. That I want to stay completely up to date. So when they do release new books, because they inevitably will, I want to read them straight away. I don't want to fall behind with those authors in particular. Want to watch more book to movie adaptations, read the trans books that I own. I have a couple of trans books that I believe are like own voices that I just haven't prioritized, and I really want to do that. So some general goals. Then we have got my star rating system. Pretty straightforward, pretty basic, but it is color coordinated because this is going to be where I can have a visual look at the star ratings I've given throughout the year. So I actually cut these two out of one of the journals I'd been given previously that I never used. So at least I'm putting some of it to good use. I also added this little Dutch door and just drew a couple more shelves to give myself more than enough room for the books that I read next year. Now this year, I think I've read about 205 books. As you can see here, I have numbered all the books and I've given myself room for 225 next year. I have a feeling next year I won't be reading quite as much. This year I was unemployed for a couple of months, which gave me a lot of time to read. I'm thinking next year, fingers crossed, I will be employed all 12 months of the year. So we'll see how we go, but I don't think I'm going to hit 225 books. Basically, as I read each book, I will just color it in based on whatever star rating I give it. So yeah, a bit basic, but you know, just it's very utilitarian at the start, and then we get more artsy as this book progresses. Next, I've got my DNF graveyard. This is an idea I saw online. A lot of this has been inspired by things I've seen online just because I've never done one of these before. I don't know what is going to work for me and what isn't. So I've kind of just drawn inspiration from all over the internet. So DNF graveyard. Every time I DNF a book, it is going to end up in this little graveyard here. I don't really DNF books all that often. I find that I DNF more towards the start of the year, and then as the year progresses, I kind of just don't really read books that I don't think are going to hit. So I've got room for 9. I can always just add another page at the end of the journal, and I have got a little call out here to Mr. Zachary Michael, or what would Zach's title be? I mean, what's the non-binary title that you use instead of Mr.? I don't know. But that's a little shout out to his little memorial services he holds. I thought it was relevant. Next, we've got the 26 in 26. So here are 26 books I want to get to in 2026. This isn't a, like, if I don't get to them, I'm going to get rid of them. This is just a general idea of the books that are going to be at the top of my TBR come January 1st. Now, I'm actually at a job now that does close over Christmas. Oh my God, are we not focused? It's so hard to see. So I have got about 3 weeks off starting a week from today. If I could knock out like a couple of these in that time, I would feel very, very productive, but we shall just see. This is, again, I haven't really filled it all the way in just yet because I'm sure that as the year progresses, there are going to be books I come across that I need to read. So I'm just going to give myself a bit of space to actually get to those books, you feel. Next, I've got my favorite book of each month with a little Dutch door. Now, I initially put this page together because my dumb brain was like, oh, this will be my top 12 books of the year. I did not take into account at that moment that that's not necessarily true. I could read all 12 favorite books of the year in January and only one of them would make it onto this spread. I think the general idea of this spread is to get an idea of what sort of books we're topping each month. So yeah, I haven't even started using this journal yet, but I'm already thinking that this is not going to be a spread that I use in 2027. We'll see. I might like it. I don't know if I'm going to put covers. I don't know if I'm just going to write the title. I have no idea. I just kind of started writing for this page and didn't have any rhyme or reason to it. So we'll see how we go. Next, I have got my author backlogs page. This is more of just a note to myself that these are all authors that I have read from, that I have enjoyed, and that I would like to read their entire bibliographies. So I've read everything Alice Feeney has published except for those two books. I've read everything Renee Carlina has published except that one, and so on and so forth. So just like a kind of note to myself that if I want to be a true fan of these authors, those are the books I need to read to accomplish that. Next, I have my genre tracker. This is very similar to my star rating tracker, but I've got different colors coordinating with different genres, and as I finish each book of the year, just going to color it in based on, I guess, the most prominent genre, and we'll see how that goes. I might forget to do this, or I might just find it's not very useful. We'll see. Next, I've got my series tracker page. Now, anything that already has a little green square next to it is a book I've already read in the series. As you can see, there are many books I have not read. I haven't started, I haven't attempted. It's a little bit intimidating because I own all of these books. None of these are like ebooks or audiobooks. These are all physical books I own that are on my shelves that I have not yet read. It's scary. It's intimidating. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. Next, we have my read or dead list here. I'm going to be adding more books to this list as I kind of have time off of work to really get into all the books in my room and explore a little bit. But these are books that have been on my shelves just too long without me ever looking at them. I don't remember the last time I thought about The Kiss Quotient. I've never read it. It's still sitting on my shelves. I can see it right now. Why is it still on my shelf? Some of these I haven't even owned that long, but I'm not really interested in reading them apparently. So we'll see how we go. But if these books are not read by the end of 2026, they're just going straight to a charity shop. Like, I don't care anymore. This is my bookish wish list. Now, this isn't books like new releases or things that I know I'm going to purchase for myself. These are books rather that are a bit more pricey that I can't necessarily justify spending on myself, but should anyone ask like what I want for my birthday or what I want for Christmas next year, these books are going to be like the things that I would much love as presents. Now we've got my most boring spread potentially. It is just my reading record of the year. So after I read a book, I'm just going to put down what number book of the year it is, the title, the author, the date that I read it. I've got a bunch of Dutch doors here. I really think this is the ugliest spread, but it is very utilitarian. I'm just going to use it to write down titles, so it's fine. Next, I've got my bucket list. Now, I have a scratch off poster behind my door. If I remember, I will insert a clip of it here. So here behind my bedroom door, I've got the 100 books of bucket list, which is from, I guess, the bucket list. Anyway, it has 100 books that you're like supposed to read before you die, essentially. And I don't think I've read anything from that poster in about 2 years. So I decided I'm going to try and prioritize some of the books from that list that I have an interest in. So again, you can pause if you like, but mainly we've got Dracula, which we will be getting back to in a second. Misery by Stephen King, I've always wanted to read. One of my favorite horror movies, so we'll see how we go. Now, speaking of Dracula, one of my 2026 bookish goals is to actually read Dracula for the first time ever. So I decided that the best way for me to read it is probably to break it down into small chunks, and I'm going to read it in real time. So Dracula, the book actually starts on the 3rd of May and continues all the way through to the 7th of November. I'm going to read Dracula in real time. I'm going to start it on May the 3rd and hopefully finish it by November 7th. I have made a lot of errors with this page. I don't know why. For some reason I thought there were 8 days in a week here. I've crossed off 2 days here. So anything blacked out is days that we don't follow in the book. I've crossed out days that are actually in the book. I couldn't tell you. I don't know why. I think this page is pretty cute. I just hope I actually use it because I've been wanting to read Dracula for so long. Next, I have got my reread spread. I don't really reread books that often, but I have got a couple that I would like to reread in 2026. So I've got space for the covers here. This is just to keep track of how much I use my library. I do want to start using it more and more and more during 2026. And I think it's just a cute way to see, holy shit, I've saved X amount of money by using my library instead of going straight to the bookstore. Next, I've got my new release radar. Now, this is just January, and this is the space I've left for the entire year. For some reason, I don't think the math is mathing, so I'm probably, after this video, going to add another spread to the end of my journal, because, yeah, I didn't think there was that many new releases in January. I really did not plan this page well at all. Like, I think it looks really pretty. I think it's a very cute spread. I just don't think I accounted for just how many books I was going to be interested in that come out in 2026. So yeah. Next, I've got a little quotes page. I very rarely find a book where the quotes stick with me and hit me really, really hard. There were only 2 books in 2025 where the quotes, or there were quotes that really stuck to me, that I still remember, that I remember how I felt when I read them. So I don't think I'm going to need more than just this page, but it is going to be here. Next, my TikTok Rex page. Very frequently, I find myself screenshotting a recommendation from a BookToker, and then I buy the book, so I delete the screenshot, then I read the book, and I love the book, and I have no idea who recommended it, whose video it was in. So this is just going to be a cute little way of keeping track of which BookTokers' recommendations I can trust, I guess. Next, we've got my adaptations page. I have been avoiding so many book to movie adaptations for so long. I don't remember what movie it was specifically, but I know that there, at some point in time, was a movie adaptation that was so god awful, fucking terrible, that it made me want to stop with book to movie adaptations altogether. I'm going to try and get past that in 2026. Like, we've got The Housemaid, The Long Walk, Behind Her Eyes, There's Someone Inside Your House, The Woman in the Window, like all of these adaptations that are coming out or that have been out that I really want to watch, but I'm just so scared are going to ruin the source material. It was fucking Cabin at the End of the World. The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay turned into A Knock at the Cabin Door by M. Night Shyamalan, and I think that was genuinely one of the worst book to movie adaptations I've ever seen. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty here, but like, they really just looked at the source material and said, that's really cute, we're changing everything. So I just remembered, yeah, so that was the movie that put me off book to movie adaptations. I want to get back into them this year. Okay, next I've got my monthly spreads. So each month I've got a little section where I'm writing events. So for example, on Sunday the 4th of January, I'm seeing Anastasia the Musical with my beautiful mother. I'm very excited because guess what, guys? The 4th of January, it's actually not that far away. 4th of January, what's today? Today's like, what, the 16th, the 15th, 16th? Today's the 16th? So we've got 2 more weeks. So yeah, less than 3 weeks, I'm seeing Anastasia the Musical. I'm so fucking excited. You guys have no idea. Then I have a little section for my TBR. I typically do monthly TBRs. I generally stick to them. This will be an interesting way of seeing it. I think I'm going to write my TBR and then maybe like cross them off as I read them. We've got my in and out section. Now, I want to purchase books more thoughtfully this year, so this is going to be a section where I write what books have entered my library and which books have exited. And then we have got just my monthly stats, so the total amount of books read, total amount of pages read, and the average star rating. So this is my January spread, which is one of my favorites. February, which is pretty average, but I am seeing Ethel Cain on the 16th of Feb. I'm so fucking excited. I think she's going to be absolutely beautiful live. Then we've got March. I hate this spread. Let's not talk about it. April, I try to go for an Easter theme. I don't really love it. But my May spread, one of my favorites. I think my May spread is so fucking beautiful. I fucking love this spread. I think it's just delicious. June, not a massive fan of. July, not a massive fan of. August, I think is pretty cute. I like it a lot. September, pretty basic, not a fan. October, I love. This and January might be tied for first. Oh no, and May. January, May, and October. I think they're going to be good reading months based on this. November, we're not even going to talk about November. Oh my god, can I just... Yep, cool. December is alright. It's fine. It can stay. So then, after all of that, I was like, holy shit, I forgot about the Goodreads achievements. So I did the Goodreads challenges spread. Now I can't really fill any of this in because I believe these come out seasonally. I didn't realize until halfway through this year that these were things that Goodreads was doing, and I know we all hate Goodreads. Like, honestly, I do prefer Fable. I think Fable is such a more useful tool for tracking reading, but I can't let go of Goodreads. So right now I'm actually using Goodreads, Storygraph, and Fable. I don't know if I'm going to continue that into 2026. I think I just like having my bases covered for literally anything I could possibly need book related. But anyway, back to this spread. I think it's really cute. I've just got summer, autumn, winter, and spring. And as each achievement is announced, I'm just going to write it in here and then eventually write whatever book met that challenge for me. Then I've got my book awards. So end of 2026, I will go through all the books that I read and I will hopefully have an answer for each of these questions. Best book, favorite character, saddest book, funnest book, best series, best duology, worst book, least favorite character, disappointing book, challenging book, and angering book. I was going to write frustrating, but it wasn't going to fit. So, you know, we adapt, we move on. Next, I've got just a kind of like my author backlog page. This is just more of a note and reminder to myself that currently I have all of these audiobooks downloaded on my phone. I don't mean like I own these audiobooks. I mean they are all taking up space on my phone. The more of them I can get through in 2026, the better, because my phone is reaching capacity. I think about 60% of my phone storage is literally just audiobooks and book-related things. So I would like to have a bit of a clear out during 2026. And I think we're up to the last page. We are. It is another series tracker. I realized after completing the first series tracker page that I had more that I hadn't started that I hadn't looked at. So that's really fun. I do think actually after filming this, I'm going to do a releases radar spread because the other one is just not going to fill out the entire year. But for the most part, that is what I've done so far. I think that's mostly done except for the releases radar. So that is all. Please be nice to me. This is the first time I've ever set up a reading journal. I think I've done a really good job. I'm actually quite proud of it. But if you guys think there's anything that might work for me better, or like if you see that I'm using some spreads that haven't worked for you, just let me know. Let me know why. Let me know what's happening, and we'll have a chat in the comments. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, weekend, month, Christmas, holiday season, New Year, and I'll see you soon.